Okay, I'm gonna bake some chicken thighs here. So I've got I got 8 chicken thighs. If I were gonna smoke these chicken thighs, I would debone them. And I like to smoke chicken thighs instead of breasts because the thigh meat is a lot moister. So I'm gonna start by just cutting off, some excess fat and skin. Once I get the excess fat and skin off of it, I'm going to put top and bottom sides and everything. I'm going to put some Memphis rub. This is a mixture that I got from Stephen Reichland's Barbecue Bible. I varied it slightly. I don't put as much cayenne pepper powder in it as he does, because people that's eating my stuff, they don't actually want it spicy. So I put like half as much cayenne pepper in it. I'm just gonna lay those in there. Deboning chicken thighs is not fun. I need a sharp knife and got to kind of weave around all sides of the bone, and I'm going to just do a couple of these, see how quick it goes. I don't know, maybe my hands are going to be too dirty to touch the camera, so. But I'm not going to put anything in the pan. I'm not going to put any grease in it. I will, I'm going to bake these at like 250 degrees for 2 hours, but I'm going to keep an eye on it, and if they're done before then, I'll take it out. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the chicken out of this pan. I'm going to drain the grease off of it, and then I'm going to put a bed of rice in the bottom of the pan, and put it back in the oven for maybe another half hour, and let the grease and the rice, and the thighs kind of cook together. If I eat 2 of these per meal, this will probably do me 4 nights. You have a nice sharp knife. I'm going to do this. Cuts this skin a lot better. If I was going to smoke these, I wouldn't cut this skin here off. I would save that, because I would roll it around and tuck it underneath of the thigh, so that when it goes in the smoker, it's got a nice coating on it. It's really important, by the way, when you do smoke, that you get all the fat you can off of any kind of meat you're going to smoke. The fat doesn't add anything to it. Like if you fry chicken or something like that, the bone and the skin and the fat adds to the flavor, but when you're smoking meat, you're just wanting to get smoke penetration. These thighs look pretty good. I'm a real stickler. If I see any kind of skins or anything, any feathers still showing on it, I have to pick that stuff off. It just drives me crazy. Actually, after I get this in the oven, we're gonna need to run to town and pick up some rice. I think I used all my rice up the last time. I like to cook. I've always cooked. However, when Diane was cooking dinner, I kind of a unwritten rule that I'd kind of leave her alone in the kitchen. Not put two hands in the same pot. She never got involved in the smoking side of anything. I always took care of that. Okay. So, let's see the skin and the fat that I picked off of that. It's not that much, but I didn't want to fill up half this roasting pan with fat. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and dust these things with my Memphis rub. Okay, so this Memphis rub that I use, it came from the Barbecue Bible, written by Stephen Reichlin, and I make this recipe and I actually multiply everything by 8 because it goes fast when you're putting it on ribs and chicken and pork. But basically, it's a 1/4 cup of paprika, 1½ tablespoons of freshly ground black pepper, 1½ tablespoons of firmly packed dark brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1½ teaspoons of celery salt, 1½ teaspoons of cayenne pepper. Now you can, increase or decrease that to your taste. 1½ teaspoons of dry mustard, and 1½ teaspoons of ground cumin. It's the same rub. If I was smoking ribs or pork butt or anything like that, I'd put the same dry rub on it. Probably put more rub on this than I really need to. I just really like the flavor of it. Okay, so I kept the top of my shaker box kind of clean. I will wipe it off though. Get so paranoid about raw chicken, right? So I'm going to stop the camera here, and I'll just turn the camera on real quickly when I go to stick it in the oven. Bye for now. Okay, just a little update on my cooking here. I looked it up, and baking chicken thighs, they talk about baking it at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. I'm going to bake mine at 275 degrees for 2 hours. And while that's cooking, I'm going to make this 1 pound bag of long grain enriched rice is 2 cups. 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water. I'm going to add some garlic powder, some onion powder, and I'm going to dice up 1 red onion. And I'm going to cook that rice so that when this is done cooking in the oven, I'm going to take the thighs out. I'm going to put a bed of rice in the bottom, and then I'm going to put the chicken thighs back on top of them, including all of the grease and everything that was in there with it. And then I'm just going to put it back in the oven again for, I don't know, maybe 200 degrees for another 45 minutes to an hour. So that's what I'm planning to do. I've diced up red onion here. I'm not going to use all of this, and I'm not going to put it in with the rice while the rice is cooking. So when I've actually cooked the rice at a kind of a boil, low boil, for about 5 minutes. I stirred it, I put a lid on it, and I turned the burner off, and it's going to sit there. So when the chicken is done baking, I'm going to take the chicken out of the pan. I'm going to put a layer of rice in the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to put a layer of these red onions on top of that, and then I'm going to put the chicken back on top. So, and I'll probably maybe use about half of these onions. I mean, I don't care, I like onions, but you know, these little silicone stretchy lids, they work real good if you put them in the refrigerator. They don't, you know, you don't get an onion smell. They're pretty good. All right, just a waiting game right now. Okay, so I've had these chicken thighs cooking in the oven at 275 degrees for 2 hours, and the internal temperature is about 120 degrees, but I'm not done cooking them yet. I'm going to take these out of here and put them on a plate here temporarily. That was a good idea. I should have turned them like that and kind of moistened the top of them. But where's my pan? I'm going to take my rice that's been sitting on the burner, and I'm going to put it. Sorry about that noise. I made 2 cups of rice. I should have just made 1 cup of rice. Probably not going to use half of this. When I put this back in the oven, I'm going to put some foil on the top of it, and I'm going to add a little bit more water to it. It's tasty. These onions are going to sweat down real nice. That was kind of a large red onion. I think that's probably enough. Oh my gosh. I'm going to do that later off camera. Put some salt and pepper. Put another 6 to 8 ounces of water in here. Put the chicken thighs back on top. Alright, I'm going to reduce the temperature to 200. Alright, so I'm going to put that back in the oven at 200 degrees for another hour and let it kind of steam itself in there. And then I'm going to might make some cream spinach with it, or a salad. And I'll start the camera again when I take it out of the oven. Okay, done. I haven't made any spinach yet. I think I'm going to eat a green apple with this. So, let's get some rice. Rice is nice and moist. I think I'm going to go light here, but that's what we got. It's getting dark, so it's 10 minutes, 6:45. It looks good. So I'll eat this, let that cool down some, and then I'll cover that thing up for the night. I'll post this with some, with that recipe for that Stephen Reichling's Memphis dry rub. Try it.